Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This battle appears to have started before we even get anything on the screen. Yes, it's a rather premature start, you might say, but at least the player, which is Yabas of OLIMP, has got into action. Now he's playing the Object 261, the Tier 10 Soviet SPG, and he's on the east-spawn of Malinovka and right up against the edge of the map at the moment. Okay, he's ready to go. 18 centimeter howitzer, capable of doing 800 alpha, 45 millimeters of pen, and 9.5 meters on the burst radius, damage of between 11.5 and 29 seconds. Well, he fired at what he could see was a Gorilla 15, half in, half out behind that rock, but it hit the rock instead. So unfortunately, he didn't get that shot on. Now, the Object 261 only has 20 rounds of ammunition, which is very, very poor, actually. It should be a lot more than that. Most of the other Artys have something like 30 rounds of ammunition, unless, of course, you're the T92 HMC, and then you only have 16. But, yes, rounds out the Hori. Yep, that's a direct hit. Yes, ideally, you should have something like 30 rounds, but unfortunately, the Object 261 can actually run out of ammunition during a battle simply because it doesn't have enough. And then, of course, the only option is to either be a scout or to try and cap. Now, it's lucky, actually, in the sense that this vehicle is made from an IS-7. It's very tough. That appeared to be a critical hit in terms of actually doing damage to the Hori. Is it not the Hori 3? No, in fact, it was a Kampfpanzer 7 that he actually hit there, and he hit him on the barrel. You can see there's a big yellow mark where he actually struck him. And that one from our other Arty actually hit the Viz 55. Our shot went long and exploded behind him. It's always nice when you get three enemy tanks cooperate and form a line so that you can hit all of them at the same time. They're backing away from the hill, and one of them's gone. That was the Viz 55. Looks like the Kampfpanzer 7 rounds out. That was a direct hit. 339 from that one. And we're getting stun assist as well. Now, the other Arty on our team is a GWE100. And he's a little further away. He's back further in the south. The enemy's making a push on that direction. In fact, we've got inbound tank at the moment. It's a Manticore. And he's coming in quickly. Hiding behind the windmill at the moment. But whilst he's doing that, an AMX 13105 is trying to come in as well. Things are not looking good here. Doesn't necessarily mean you're going to lose the game, though. It might mean that you're going to lose a few teammates, though. Okay, we can see that 13105. He's not too far away. Okay, there's the Manticore. We're loaded. Rounds out. Direct hit. 350 hit points. Manticore's got very thin armor, so that is bound to have hurt him. The enemy is making a really big push on that corner of the map. In fact, the Manticore has decided he's not going to stick around near the cap area. He's on the move, but he must realize we're about to complete the load, and it landed right next door to him. Lucky for him, he changed position just a short time after he stopped. But I think our teammates up the hill have suddenly realized, whoops, they left the back door open, and we've lost our GWE100 teammate. He's gone down. Okay, we just got spotted by the enemy, so we can't stick around anymore. We have to keep moving, otherwise the enemy Arty will finish us off very quickly. The enemy Arty in this game is a Conqueror gun carriage and another Object 261. Now, luckily at the moment, our teammates are actually making a bigger target than Yarbas is. He goes to the IS-7, gets a hit. 205. Just keep moving, because you don't know if you're still spotted. Probably not by now. Standard reload for this Arty, by the way, is 30.68 seconds. He's got 25.95. There's the Type 71. Oh, he's gone. He was on fire. Surprisingly, we're only one tank down on the enemy, but they're massively ahead of us on hit points, which means that obviously they've been poking holes in our tanks and we haven't been reciprocating as much. Yes, Yarbas is very busy. He's thinking hard about what he has to do next. Unfortunately, none of the enemy are in sight. He has made the right decision, though, to keep moving and back up the hill until an enemy comes into sight, and he's got them. And it's a IS-4, and he's gone into the water for a bit of protection, but that's a direct hit and right on the turret. Only yielded 221, but it still counts. Now, I should mention this dual replay. There's another replay on this video. Also, a 261 game. Oh, fantastic shot there. Took out the Progetto 65. Now, trying to get a shot on that IS-4. Even our E5's having difficulty. He decided to go in for the ram. Now, we're almost loaded, but if we fire now, we might actually damage our own teammate in the process. And he's drowned the IS-4. He forcibly drowned him. That was very well played. If you can't actually shoot somebody, you just drown them then. Hold them underwater. Of course, the Object 261 is made from an IS-7 hull, so it's very, very tough. It's a heavy tank Arty, means you don't want to ram it. It is actually quite heavy as well, 62 tons in weight. Okay, he's positioned himself well so he can get shots on the enemy. Now, if the Object 268 and the IS-7 on the enemy team are where we think they are, then they're not too far away. In fact, now he's just spotted one of the enemy, and oh, he died very quickly. In fact, the whole thing's turned around now, because in the meanwhile, our team have actually been doing the damage to the enemy, and now they're losing hit points. 185 from that shot, the 268. He's down to 7 rounds. Still got enough. There's the 268, and he's stopped suddenly. Oh, he is active now. Rounds out. Well, unfortunately, it splashed him. Not direct hit. And I think that was the 114 SP2 just blasting a hole in the 268. There's only 3 enemy left now. The Conqueror gun carriage, the Object 261, and the Guerrilla 15 we saw at the start of the game. Now, we don't know where the Guerrilla 15 is, but we're guessing that the enemy Arty is in the woods near the inlet. And, well, they've all been found very, very close. Rounds out the 261, direct hit and a wipeout, but wasn't the kill. We didn't get the kill on that one. The 261 went to the TVP T5051, and that is the end of the first game. Here's the end of battle results, and that was an ace tanker game for Yarbas in the Object 261. He managed to get a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 15. He also got a Confederate for hitting more of the enemy than anyone else on his team, and his win rate in that game was 2,768, which is Unicum standard. If we look at the team score, we can see that the highest damage in the game went to that T110E5, the one that drowned an enemy tank. He got 5,092 hit points of damage. Second highest damage went to the 114 SP2 with his very big cannon. He got 4,513 hit points. And the third highest damage, well, that went to the Gorilla 15 on the enemy team, the one we saw right at the very start that Yarbas fired right at when the moment he first saw him. And he got 4,225 hit points, but he might have made no hit points at all if Yarbas had hit the target, because, of course, then he would probably have been wiped out straight at the start because they just don't have any armor, really, the Grid 15. It's an open Waffenträger, so it's the crew would suffer the effects of an HE round to a big extent. When we can see Yarbas, he got 2,883, which means he had 3 members of the enemy team above him, and 4 members of the enemy team, 3 members of his own team, which means he's in 8th place when it came to damage. When it came to kills, though, we can see the high scorer was the TVP T5051 on our team. He managed to pick up a Pascucci's medal and 5 kills. 3 kills went to the T110E5 and the CS63. 2 kills went to the Super Conqueror. And on the enemy team, their Gorilla 15 and their Progetto 65. And Yarbas only got the 1 kill. That was the Progetto 65, funnily enough. And when it came to base XP, we can see he's actually in 4th place because he managed to get 971. But just above him was the E5, who managed 1,094. The SP2 managed 1,066. And then the CS63, 1,017. So 3 players managed to get over 1,000 base in that game, with Yarbas just beneath them in 4th place. 15 shots fired, so he still had 5 rounds spare at the end of the game, but he did get 9 direct hits on the enemy, none of them penetrated, 17 splashes, 2,883 hit points of damage, all of it done at more than 300 meters. Damage 9 of the enemy, kill 1, so there's the Confederate. 2,786 hit points of stun assists off 16 stuns, and there was the ace tanker. On a premium count, he actually made 32,442 credits profit from that game, as well as 5 bonds for it being at tier 10, and on top of that, 2,184 experience points. It's pretty amazing that this battle was going very badly for Yarbas's team, and it looked like he was definitely going to lose, but in fact, they turned it around. In fact, Yarbas kept up the pressure, kept pumping those rounds out as quickly as he could to hit the enemy, and in the end, it paid off because they managed to get the win. You just have to keep going, keep working hard, and then all of a sudden it'll have the result that you want when your teammates start getting damage, and obviously that provides you with the stun assist to get the ace tankers. Well, that was the end of the first battle. Let's have a look at the second one. The second replay is from the north spawn of Cliff. Game on. Okay, it looks like he's going to go to the north spawn wooded area in A4. It's still a good place to shoot from, although I think most people do know that if the trace is coming from this general direction, you know just about where the enemy is, the enemy Arty, that is, if you're firing from the south. Okay, he's ready to go. And he's decided to dial in on the road that runs north to the top of the hill. Now, as you may know, the Object 261 has a very flat trajectory. That's a bit late. It has a very flat trajectory, which means that when you actually fire from this position, the shell's almost coming in horizontally on the enemy as they go up the hill. Well, it looks like that STB has decided not to go up the hill. In fact, there's so many of our guys up the hill that if he did go up there, he'd get assassinated very quickly. But look at this, a Shafu 2-4 who's managed to pop up on the donut, and he's about to get a lesson in not to be there. He just got direct hit. Now that's bound to hurt because the Shard doesn't have much in the way of armor, and he just got a direct hit on him. I suspect he's lost a lot of hit points right now. Up at the center line, a CC1 Mark II just got hit by our fellow Arty, who's in the GW Tiger. Ooh, that hurt. Oh, he's gone. That's more stun assist. Jaegeru spotted on the upslope. Of course, Yardbass knows how to pump out the damage on the enemy. Here we go. Rounds out. Direct hit. 278. That actually landed right on the edge of the mantlet. You can see the little hole where it actually impacted. Okay, we've got another tank to hit. That's the Gorilla 15. I think he's definitely trying to hide in those bushes. So I think that's the next spot that Yarbas is going to go for. Here we go. Rounds out. Well, if the Gorilla's in there, he's actually hurting at this moment. Well, surprisingly, the enemy did go up the top of the hill. And we've got a 50 TP up there. The problem for the enemy is we've got a Batchat 25 ton who's a 5-shot assassin. If he's got the top gun. That's a nice hit. 224, it tracks him. Unfortunately, the enemy Arty is also going after our Batchat. Enemy Arty in this game is an Object 261 and an M53, M55. So it's a tier 10 game with tier 9 tanks in it. Oh, he's being sneaky. He's trying to reverse up the slope. And I think that shell overshot. It looked like it went through the ground and landed a long way over on the cliff edge. Meanwhile, there's a whole bunch of enemy tanks made it up onto the donut. There's that Jaeger again. He's leading the target just a little. That's it. Dialed in. Rounds out. Direct hit on the cabin. There's a lot of viable targets over by the donut. We're looking there at the moment, but unfortunately, because we haven't got any spotters in that general area, they can't see. The only one that's there is the TL7. There he is. Okay, so now we can spot these guys and land shells on them. Rounds out. That one hit the pattern in the front, but they both got stunned and masses of stun assist landing. Oh, this looks another ace tanker game. And look at the way they're all gathering together to try and win the donut. But I don't think it's going to work. And there's the Sharfuture that he hit earlier in the game. And it looks like he hit the front of the vehicle, but he wiped him out this time. 369 from that shot alone. The enemy's losing a lot of tanks around here. They're actually trying to retreat around the corner. Yes, the TL7 has dug in. He's holding that position to stop the enemy using the donut against our guys further up. Now, they tried to get around the corner. It failed. Now we've got a Skoda T50 and the Patton holding that corner. It looks like they're getting supported by the Arty in the corner as well. Oh, landed just behind the Skoda, but it stunned both of them. Now the enemy's now making a push around the cliff edge where they've got a Jaegeru, and he's seen it. And we've just got a load of stun assist off that Skoda T50. Here we go. Rounds out. Direct hit, and it wiped him out. So that's the second kill for Yarbas. And we hold the donut now. So the enemy have lost everything they had on the donut. We're now 3 tanks ahead. Okay. Gorilla poking up to have a quick look. You can see that flat trajectory is actually having a bit of a problem for us. We can't loop the shell down over the edge of that rocks there. The shell won't go over. So it's not really an easy shot, that one. She's getting a red line showing that it would hit something before it hit the Gorilla. It's looking very interesting now because our guys are starting to mass in the west of the map near the donut, and they're pushing on the enemy cap area. Now remember last time we saw that Gorilla, he was up in the sniper's nest, but now we've seen him down here. He's out of position and he's not covering the cap area. Oh, the 121 goes down. That's to the 452K. Meanwhile, the Gorilla's still there. We're loaded. Just trying to get a solution. We can't get one. And the enemy desperately trying to stop their cap area from being wiped out. And they're sending their Striv 1030 in to try and stop it. And they have killed our Sharp Future 4. In fact, the Gorilla was the one who got the kill. But now they've actually effectively given up their positions. All except the Gorilla 15, who's staying right at the center. But he's going to get overwhelmed. There he is. If 2 or 3 of our guys go round that corner at the same time and the Gorilla 15 on our team can see him, then he is going to go out the game. He's probably going to get shot by the other Gorilla. But the enemy Arty is trying to focus on that guy because they know that he's actually threatening his their teammate. Oh, look, we can see our teammate actually got wiped out. He must have been spotted probably by one of the enemies who are up at the center. There's the Gorilla. Now we've got a better angle. Dialing in and rounds out. Well, he managed to duck in to get some cover just as our shell arrived, but he has gone. And I think that's the pivotal moment at the end of the game because now there's only 4 enemies left. They're 1 down. And they've only got the Striv and the 2 Arties back at the cap area. The other one, which was and still is the 121B, and I think he's back at the enemy cap as well. There's their Object 261. They just lost the 121B. Rounds out the 261. Direct hit for 315. He's a one-shot. I don't know why our teammates are not going for him. Oh, they have now. Only 2 enemies left now. The Striv and the M53, M55. They both have to be over this corner. Because they couldn't be any closer, otherwise they would be spotted. Okay, we're loaded. Now, I'd take a guess that they're in the bushes a little further up, but you can see here that Yarbas wants to be certain before he shoots. Oh, there we go. We know where one of them is. That's the M53, M55. Everyone's at this moment basically falling on the enemy cap area, and they're all getting hit. There goes the strip, and it's just the M53, M55 now. There he is. Rounds out. Long flight time. And he gets the kill. Here's the end of battle stats, and that was another ace tanker game for Yarbas of OLIMP in the Object 261. It was not only his ace tanker, but it was also his first mark of excellence. So congratulations on getting your first mark. He also got a Bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 14, and he got another Confederate out of that game. And this battle only took place something like 2 hours before 2 hours after, rather, the last one you saw on Malinovka. Win 8 on this one was Super Unicum Standard with 3,466. If we look at team score, we can see the highest damage in the game actually went to the 121B on the enemy team, 3,861 hit points. Second highest damage was the Centurion Action 10 on our team with 3,621. And the third highest damage was the Gorilla 15 on our team with 3,327. Yarbas was actually in 4th place when it came to damage at 3,054. And of course, he got the Confederate. In fact, he's the only one to get a medal in the game. And unfortunately, this is where it becomes a bit sore point, because the other player on the team who got a higher number of kills than Yarbas did, he got 5 kills, and that was the Centurion Action 10. And yes, I'm afraid that was the player who was going after the M53, M55 right at the end of the game. If he'd killed the M53, he would have had the shotgun, and Yarbas would have had only 2 kills. Excuse me. So sadly, Yarbas actually deprived his teammate of a medal right at the end of the game. So he managed to get 3 kills in 2nd place. And also the 121B also got 3 kills. 2 kills went to the Jaeger and the Object 452K on his own team. When it came to base XP, the Centurion did get the top of that table with 1,116 and was the only one to get over 1,000 base, with the Object 261 of Yarbas getting 962, and just beneath him, the Shah Future 4 got 961. He fired 18 rounds in that game, got 9 direct hits on the enemy, none of them penetrated. In fact, in the entire game that you've just seen, none of the shells actually penetrated the target, which shows that the 18 centimeter shells don't really have enough penetrating power to get through the enemy. You probably need another 10 millimeters at least just to get through the armor. 18 splashes on the enemy as well. 3,054 hit points, all of it at more than 300 meters. Damaged 10 of the enemy, killed 3, and 3,285 hit points of stun assist of 15 stuns. On a premium count, he actually earned 31,640 credits. He got 7 bonds for tier 10, and he also picked up 1,443 experience points. So I think you can see that Yarbas is very, very consistent in his work, and that's why he's got a first mark. He's earned it because he's actually getting the same results again and again and again, and they're either ace tankers or first classes, and it's really making a difference to his overall performance. So it won't be long before Yarbas gets his 2nd mark, or his 3rd for that matter. So, yes, I think we'll be seeing a lot more replays coming from Yarbas in the near future, and I think he likes this Arty, and so do I, actually. It's a lot of fun. It does have a low trajectory. It also dials in very quickly on the enemy once you actually are dialed in, but it is a lot of fun. So, yes, the 261, once you get to the tier 10 Russian or Soviet SPGs, I think you appreciate this, Arty, because you really do have a battle where you've got a chance you might actually run out of shells before the end of the game. So yes, it's a lot of fun from that perspective to see how many of your shells you can get out before the end. I hope you enjoyed both those replays. If you did, please give this video a like, do subscribe to our channel, leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm, and thank you for watching.